Good morning, my beloved friend. As the first light of dawn begins to breathe across the horizon, these early morning moments hold a quiet hollowness that cannot be found anywhere else in the day. The world is still, the air is soft, and time itself seems to pause long enough for your heart to take a deeper breath. There is something sacred about this hour before the rush begins. It is a space where burdens feel a little lighter, where hope feels a little closer, and where the whisper of heaven is easier to hear. Somewhere right now, perhaps even in a place that looks like your own life, someone is sitting at the edge of their bed with tears they have tried to hide for months. They are holding the weight of loss that no one else can see. Maybe it is the grief of a broken relationship, the fear of an uncertain future, or the exhaustion of fighting battles that never seem to end. They wonder if anyone truly understands the storm inside them. They wonder if God still hears their silent cries in the darkness. Their nights have been long, and their strength feels thin, stretched by loneliness, confusion, or disappointment. But as the morning breaks, something shifts. The soft glow of dawn begins to touch the room, and with it comes a gentle reminder that no night lasts forever. Light always finds a way in. And this is where the journey of prayer begins, not from a place of perfection, but from the raw, honest places of the soul. The early hours invite us to bring everything we have carried, every fear and unanswered question, and lay them before the one who never turns away. Prayer is not an escape from reality. Prayer is the courage to face reality with divine strength. It is the place where breath becomes hope and surrender becomes victory. Even when we feel fragile, faith rises quietly within us, reminding us that we are held, guided, and deeply known. These moments before sunrise are not empty hours. They are holy ground, a meeting place between the human heart and the heart of God. So as the world slowly awakens, I invite you to open your spirit, quiet your mind, and step into this sacred conversation. Let the stillness around you become the doorway into a deeper presence. Let the light of morning become a promise that you aren't walking this path alone. Whatever you carry today, whatever shadows linger from the night, this is the moment to release them and allow divine peace to begin its gentle work within you. Take a breath. Settle your heart. You are seen. You are loved. And now, in the hush of this early hour, we prepare to enter a deeper place of communion, where your story meets God's healing touch and where prayer opens the way to new strength for the day ahead. Dear Heavenly Father, in this early hour when the night has not fully lifted and the first hints of morning rest quietly on the horizon, my heart comes before you with all the weight it has carried through long and restless nights. I do not come with eloquent words or perfect strength. I come simply because my soul cannot pretend to be strong anymore. Something within me awakens as the world still sleeps. It is a stirring that tells me I cannot walk into another day without resting first in your presence. So here I am, with trembling thoughts and a fragile spirit, reaching for the reassurance only you can give. The night has been heavy. My mind has wandered through fears I could not quiet. Thoughts rose and fell like waves that refused to settle. There were moments I felt swallowed by the silence. Moments when I wondered whether the burdens pressing on my chest would be the same ones greeting me when the sun rises. I tried to shake them off, but they lingered. I tried to distract myself, but the discomfort followed me. The truth is that exhaustion has reached deeper places than my body. It has touched my hope and pressed against my faith. In this dim quiet, I admit I feel worn, uncertain, and stretched thin. Yet even in this exhaustion, something inside me longs for you. Something whispers that the weight I carry is not meant to become my identity. Something reminds me that even when I feel lost in the dark, you have never stopped seeing me. That is why I come to you now, not to perform, not to impress, but to breathe honestly in your presence. I bring the unspoken worries that kept me awake. I bring the disappointments I tucked away because I did not know what to do with them. I bring the fears that tightened around my heart in the quiet hours of the night. I lay them here, one by one, because I do not want to enter a new day trapped inside them. You understand these hidden struggles, even when I cannot explain them. You know the anxiety beneath my calm exterior. You see the tension in places of my soul I try to ignore. You notice the way hope flickers when life becomes uncertain. And in this tender hour before sunrise, I need to feel your closeness more than anything else. I need to know that you are near, not only when I stand strong, but especially when I feel fragile. Teach me how to rest in the truth that I am held even when my thoughts are scattered and my heart is overwhelmed. As I breathe in this early morning stillness, I ask you to steady the storm inside me. Quiet the noise that has worn down my spirit. Let the heaviness that lingered through the night begin to loosen its grip. I do not ask for every answer. I do not ask for instant clarity. I ask only for the grace to take the next step without fear. Let this moment be a beginning, a gentle turning of my heart back toward peace. Let me sense even the faintest trace of your presence settling over me, reminding me that I am not facing this day alone. Draw me into the calm that comes from knowing you are already in the day ahead of me. Show me that this quiet moment with you is stronger than any fear waiting outside my door. Help me rise not by pushing through the weight I feel, but by trusting that you lift me in ways I cannot see. I open my heart as best as I can. I open my mind even if it still feels tired. I open my spirit even if it trembles. Meet me here in this vulnerable beginning. Let this early hour become a refuge where my soul finds the strength that it could not find anywhere else. Lord, as I continue from the quiet place where my heart rested a moment longer in your gentle nearness, I step into this new space with a deeper longing to know you without the weight that tried to follow me. The stillness that held me before is still present, settling over me like a soft veil, reminding me that I do not walk from one moment to the next without your patient hand guiding my thoughts. I come now with a quieter spirit, not free from every worry, but more willing to let you reshape the atmosphere inside me. The concerns that filled the night no longer speak with the same authority, and I sense a small but real shift as I choose to remain close to you. I ask you to open the inner room of my soul, where distractions have been crowding the doorway. There are many things that attempt to pull me away from this sacred pause. Small noises in the mind that seem harmless, but slowly steal attention and peace. Help me recognize them for what they are. Help me choose to step deeper into the hidden place, where your presence becomes the only voice worth hearing. I do not want to carry a divided heart into this new day. I want to be fully here, fully present, fully aware that this moment matters. As I breathe slowly, I feel the remnants of restlessness trying to rise again, but I choose to bring them under your care. I choose to let you draw me inward, past the surface questions, and into the quiet center where trust grows. Teach me how to honor this secret place, how to approach it with the humility of someone who knows they cannot survive on their own strength. Let this be the hour where I learn to sit without rushing, to listen without reaching for solutions, to allow you to shape the thoughts that guide me. I ask you to remove the walls I built without realizing it. Walls made of hurried plans, unspoken fears, and unhealed memories. They stand between me and the deeper clarity my heart longs for. Bring them down gently, not with force, but with the steady assurance that I am safe in your hands. Replace those walls with a doorway wide enough for hope to enter. Let me sense the subtle warmth of your presence moving through the places I kept closed. Let me recognize that even silence can carry healing when you are in it. Draw me into a deeper awareness of who you are. Let the truth of your nature rise above the noise inside me. You are constant when everything else shifts. You are near when I feel distant. You are patient when I am overwhelmed. You are my refuge when uncertainty tries to take root. Lead me into the peace that grows when I stop striving and begin surrendering. Lead me into the stillness that reminds me that strength does not come from trying harder, but from resting longer in your presence. Father, let this early hour be the doorway that guides me into the rest of the day. Let it shape my thoughts, steady my emotions, and anchor my steps. Let it quiet the inner storm and awaken a deeper longing for what is true. Help me carry this sense of quiet trust into every conversation, every task, every unknown moment that waits ahead. I want this sacred beginning to be more than a pause. I want it to become the foundation of how I move, breathe, and choose throughout the day. You see every corner of my heart, even the places I hide from myself. Meet me there with the gentleness only you can give. Teach me how to return to this secret place again and again, until it becomes the home my soul naturally seeks. I open myself to you, ready to be shaped, guided, and held as this morning unfolds. Father, as I move gently from the quiet space where your presence began to settle more deeply into me, I feel a growing desire to lift my gaze beyond the concerns that have occupied my thoughts for so long. The stillness of this early moment reminds me that there is more to see than the weight I carried. I sense you drawing my attention upward, inviting me to remember who you are. Not only who I have been in the midst of my struggles, I come with a heart that is slowly awakening, ready to see you with new clarity. There are times when my mind narrows around the problems in front of me, making them seem larger than life. Worries grow shadows that stretch farther than the truth, and fear paints the future in colors you never intended. In those moments, I lose sight of your steady presence. I forget that you remain constant even when my inner world shifts. But here, in this gentle dawn light, you remind me to lift my eyes. You remind me that you are greater than the noise, greater than the uncertainty, greater than the quiet battles I face within myself. Teach me to recognize your character in the little things. In the soft hum of the morning air, let me sense your faithfulness. In the slow brightening of the sky, let me remember that you bring light in ways that are gradual yet certain. In the calm that settles over my breathing, let me know that you steady every place where I feel shaken. Help me shift my focus from my fears to your nearness. Help me see that your presence does not vanish just because my confidence wavers. I want to remember the moments when you have brought me through seasons I thought I would never survive. Moments when you gave strength I did not know I had. Moments when you opened doors I thought were permanently closed. Moments when peace returned like a quiet companion after long stretches of restlessness. These memories are reminders that you have always been working. Even when I could not feel it, let them rise again, not to dwell on the past, but to steady my faith for what lies ahead. Lord, let this early hour become the place where I learn to see you more clearly. Let it be the place where truth rises above emotion, where hope becomes more than a distant idea. Let me remember that you are my light when my thoughts feel dim, my refuge when my heart feels exposed, my anchor when my stability falters. Help me hold on to the truth that you do not change with my circumstances. You remain the same, steady and unwavering, even when everything around me feels uncertain. As I breathe in the quiet morning air, draw me into a deeper awareness of your goodness. Let it soften the edges of my fear. Let it lift the tension that has held my spirit tight. Let it rebuild the trust that doubt tried to fracture. I want to live with a heart anchored in who you are, not in what I fear might happen. I want to walk through this day remembering that I am never without guidance, never without covering, never without your gentle hand shaping the steps I take. God, let the truth of who you are rise within me like the slow unfolding of dawn. Let it warm the places where I have grown cold. Let it brighten the corners of my mind that have been dimmed by worry. Let it expand my vision so I can see beyond the narrowness of my own understanding. Teach me to look for you in the details, in the pauses, in the spaces where I would normally rush past without noticing. Teach me to trust that you are working even when I do not yet see the full picture. Let the calmness of this moment become a reminder that clarity often comes when I slow down enough to notice the gentle ways you move. When I begin to drift back into old ways of thinking, pull me toward the truth that you remain constant. When doubts whisper that I am alone, let the memory of your faithfulness rise louder. When fear attempts to narrow my vision again, widen my perspective so I can see the steady outlines of your guidance shaping what comes next. I want to live aware of your nearness, not blinded by the distractions that try to claim my attention. Help me treasure the signs of your presence that are often overlooked. A quiet reassurance that settles in the center of my chest. A thought that softens my worry before I even realize it was there. A sense of calm that interrupts a wave of anxiety. These small moments are reminders that you are not distant. You are closer than the breath that carries my prayers. Help me recognize these gentle touches so they can become anchors when challenges arise. Lord, teach me to see you in ways I have never seen you before. Stretch my understanding of your goodness. Broaden my sense of your strength. Deepen my trust in your timing. Let each new recognition of who you are wash over the places that feel tired, uncertain, or afraid. Let it shape my responses. Let it calm my reactions. Let it guide my decisions. I want my life to reflect the truth of your character, not the weight of my doubts. As this morning unfolds, let your steadiness become the foundation of my thoughts. Keep me mindful of your presence as I move from this quiet space into the flow of the day. Remind me that I do not rise alone. I rise with the confidence that you are leading me. I rise with a heart becoming more attuned to your voice. I rise with a renewed awareness that you are my constant source of light, hope, and strength. Lord, as I move from the renewed awareness of who you are, I feel a gentle pull inviting me to release what still weighs heavily within me. The clarity you began to bring in the quiet of this morning shows me that there are burdens I have carried for far too long. They cling to my thoughts, shape my reactions, and press into my heart in ways I no longer want to ignore. I come now with a willingness to lay them down, not out of obligation, but out of a deep desire to breathe freely again in your presence. There are hidden worries that have lingered beneath my calm exterior. Some of them formed slowly over time, settling in layers I barely noticed until they began to tighten around me. Others appeared suddenly, born from moments I could not control or understand. These weights have shaped my steps, sometimes turning simple decisions into difficult ones. They have whispered doubts into my mind and clouded the hope I tried to hold on to. Today, I bring them into the open, trusting that you see every unspoken detail. Teach me how to place these burdens at your feet with honesty. I do not want to pretend they are light when they have cost me sleep and peace. I do not want to minimize them or tuck them away in hopes they will resolve themselves. Help me name each one with courage. Help me bring forward the fears I have tried to disguise, the disappointments I kept hidden, the concerns I never fully acknowledged. Let this be a moment where I stop carrying what was never meant to rest on my shoulders alone. I bring the burden of uncertainty, the questions about what lies ahead, the plans that feel fragile, and the paths that remain unclear. I bring the burden of emotional strain, the quiet ache that returns in waves, the loneliness that sometimes settles without warning. I bring the burden of responsibilities that stretch me thin, the expectations that feel impossible to meet, and the pressure to hold everything together, even when I feel worn. I bring all of this to you with open hands, trusting that you will not turn me away. Help me breathe deeply as I release these weights. Let each breath remind me that surrender is not weakness, but trust. Let the tension in my chest loosen as I acknowledge that I do not have to be strong in every moment. Let the heaviness begin to lift as I recognize that you are willing to carry what overwhelms me. Teach me to rest in the truth that you are near, not as a distant observer, but as a present and loving guide who walks with me through every hidden valley. Father, I ask you to replace the burdens I release with peace that fits gently into the spaces they once occupied. Let the quiet assurance of your presence settle over me like a soft covering. Let it calm the noise inside me and bring steady strength where worry once lived. Let it remind me that I am held even when I do not have the answers. Let it fill the places that have felt empty or strained, offering a calm that I cannot create on my own. I surrender the weight of trying to control what is beyond my reach. I surrender the need to appear unshaken when my heart feels fragile. I surrender the fears that rise when I imagine outcomes that have not even happened. I surrender the burdens I inherited without knowing how deeply they would affect me. Replace them with clarity, kindness, and hope. Replace them with a steady awareness that I am guided, protected, and understood in ways I cannot fully comprehend. Lord, help me trust the process of letting go. Sometimes the release feels slow, and my heart clings to the familiar, even when it is heavy. Sometimes I worry that if I let go, I will lose my sense of direction. But you remind me that surrender opens the door to peace, that letting go is the first step toward being lifted. Show me how to walk forward with open hands, allowing your presence to steady me where fear once dictated my steps. As I continue in this early hour, let the act of laying down my burdens become a gentle turning point. Let it clear space within me for new strength and new vision. Let it prepare me to move through this day with a lighter heart, no longer shaped by the heaviness I carried before coming to you. Guide me into a deeper trust that grows not from striving but from releasing. Let this moment be the beginning of a new openness, a new freedom, and a new willingness to walk without the weights that once defined my journey. Father, as I move from the place where burdens began to loosen their grip, I step into this quieter moment with a longing to listen more deeply than I have before. The act of releasing what weighed me down has opened a softer space within me, a space where I can finally hear what was drowned out by worry and noise. I come now not to speak first, but to listen. I come with a heart willing to be still long enough for your whisper to reach the corners of my soul that have longed for gentle reassurance. Teach me how to rest in silence without rushing toward answers. I often fill quiet moments with my own attempts to make sense of things, forgetting that peace grows when I allow stillness to settle. Help me recognize that I do not need to force clarity. I do not need to shape outcomes with restless thoughts. Sometimes the most sacred thing I can do is sit quietly with you, letting my breathing slow and my mind soften as your presence fills the spaces I once filled with fear. There are thoughts that rise and fall like echoes, lingering at the edges of my attention. Some of them try to pull me back into old patterns of worry. Some remind me of things unfinished or unresolved. Some simply drift through without meaning. Help me sort through them gently. Help me release what distracts and hold close what brings peace. Let this moment become a sanctuary for clarity, a place where the noise inside me shifts into a softer hum that no longer overwhelms. Lord, help me recognize your voice in what I have overlooked. Your presence often moves in quiet impressions, subtle nudges, and soft reminders that do not demand attention, but invite it. Teach me to lean into those moments with trust. Let me sense the steady reassurance that rises unannounced. Let me feel the calm that settles without explanation. Let me notice the shift inside me when fear loses its urgency simply because you are near. As I settle into this stillness, let it reveal the places where my spirit has been tense. Let the quiet uncover the exhaustion I have ignored. Let it show me where I need rest, not more effort. I surrender the habit of pushing through pain. I surrender the instinct to fill every moment with activity or thought. Show me how to honor silence as a sacred space where you speak in ways I cannot hear when my life is loud. Draw me into the kind of listening that brings healing. Let the soft weight of your presence settle like a calm over my restless places. Let it loosen the knots in my thoughts and the tightness in my chest. Let it bring warmth to the parts of me that have grown cold from disappointment. Let this stillness feel like a gentle embrace, reminding me that I do not need to perform to be loved or speak perfectly to be heard. I can simply be here, open and receptive. God, help me hear the invitations you place within this silence. Invitations to rest, invitations to trust, invitations to release what I cannot carry, invitations to step into a deeper awareness of your nearness. Let each quiet moment draw me into a deeper truth, a truth that does not shout but settles gently into the heart until it becomes a new way of seeing. Let this stillness become a teacher. Let it show me how to slow down enough to notice the beauty in simple breaths, the peace in letting go, the quiet joy found in being fully present. Let it guide me toward a humility that does not rush to speak or explain, but chooses instead to wait, to listen, to receive. Help me carry this listening posture into the rest of my day, so that your voice becomes the anchor that steadies every step. When distractions rise again, remind me of this moment. When noise returns, remind me that I can always come back to the stillness I cultivate with you. When my mind begins to spiral, Steady me with the memory of your gentle whisper. Teach me to return to this inner quiet, even when the world around me grows loud. Let it become the refuge where I find clarity, direction, and calm no matter what I face. Let this listening become part of who I am, not just something I practice when life feels heavy. Let it shape the way I speak, the way I respond, the way I choose my next steps. Let it guide me toward wisdom that grows quietly rather than through force. Let it help me recognize that true strength is often found in the spaces where I stop trying to prove anything and allow myself to be guided. Lord, help me embrace the gentle rhythm of waiting. Waiting without fear. Waiting without pressure. Waiting with an open heart that trusts your timing more than my impatience. In this silence, remind me that I am safe, held, and understood. Let the simplicity of this moment restore what has been stretched thin. Let it refresh the tired layers of my spirit in ways that words alone cannot. As I remain here, let this listening draw me closer to the quiet truth that you have been speaking all along, even when I was too overwhelmed to notice. Let it draw me toward deeper faith, deeper calm, and deeper surrender. Let it become the foundation on which I stand as I walk into the rest of this day with renewed awareness and quiet strength. Lord, as I continue from the quiet listening that began to reshape the inner atmosphere of my heart, I step into this new moment with a desire to respond to what I sensed in the stillness. The gentle impressions that rose within me have stirred a longing not only to hear but to trust, to lean into the direction you are quietly revealing. I come now with a softer spirit, open to the subtle ways you guide, ready to follow the traces of peace that mark the path you are forming before me. Teach me to walk with a steadier confidence, one that does not rely on immediate clarity, but rests in the assurance that you are leading even when the next step feels small. Help me recognize the quiet courage that grows from listening deeply. Help me understand that obedience is often born in moments like this, where your presence settles over my thoughts and transforms uncertainty into willingness. Let this be a moment where trust expands gently, taking root where fear once claimed space. There are choices before me that feel delicate, places where I hesitate because I fear choosing wrongly. Remind me that you are patient with my uncertainty. Remind me that you do not rush me forward, but invite me gently, shaping my steps with care. Help me sense the subtle pull of your guidance, the calm that rests on the direction aligned with your heart, the quiet tension that warns me when a path leads away from peace. Let these inner cues become familiar signals that help me move wisely. God, teach me to follow the peace you place within me. Teach me to notice when my spirit feels settled and when something inside me tightens. Help me distinguish the difference between fear that distracts and caution that protects. Let the inner calm you provide become the compass that points me toward what is true. Let the quiet unease that rises when something is not right remind me to pause, to breathe, to seek clarity before stepping ahead. As I hold these decisions before you, Ease the pressure I place on myself to know everything at once. Lift the weight of needing perfect direction. Replace it with a steady reassurance that you guide one step at a time. Show me how to move with grace, how to trust that you are already in the moments I have not yet reached. Help me understand that faith does not require flawless certainty, only a heart willing to follow the gentle rhythm of your leading. Lord, let your guidance shape not only my decisions, but also my attitude. Let it soften my reactions when I feel overwhelmed. Let it calm the impatience that rises when answers seem slow. Let it steady my spirit when doubt tries to settle. I want to walk through this day with a heart that listens inwardly, attentive to the quiet whispers that nudge me toward wisdom. Let each small act of trust become part of a larger movement toward deeper confidence in your care. When I feel unsure, draw me back to the moments when you guided me faithfully without my realizing it until later. Remind me of the times when a closed door protected me. Remind me of the times when unexpected turns led to quiet blessings. Remind me of the times when what seemed uncertain eventually revealed purpose. These memories strengthen the foundation of trust beneath my feet and help me step forward with courage. Father, help me value the process of being guided as much as the clarity that comes from it. Let the journey itself shape my character. Let the pauses teach patience. Let the waiting deepen humility. Let the movement forward build resilience. Let each moment of listening and responding draw me further into the person you are forming within me. Help me understand that being guided by you is not only about direction, but transformation. Let your presence move gently through every choice I make today. Let it settle over conversations, responsibilities, and quiet moments alike. Let it influence the tone of my voice, the posture of my heart, and the thoughts that guide my actions. Help me walk in a way that reflects trust, not anxiety. Help me carry myself with the quiet assurance that comes from knowing I am not navigating this day alone. As I remain here, let the guidance you offer take root deeply within me. Let it become a steady undercurrent of peace that shapes everything I do. Let it align my desires with your wisdom, my actions with your truth, and my steps with the quiet leading of your spirit. I open myself to your direction, trusting that you will lead me gently, faithfully, and with a love that does not waver. Father, as I carry the quiet assurance of your guidance from the moments before, I feel a new stirring within me, a desire not only to follow, but to trust your protection as I move through the unknowns of this day. The gentle confidence you placed in me becomes a reminder that every path you lead me onto is covered by your care. I step into this moment with an openness to rest beneath the shelter of your presence, knowing I do not walk through this world unguarded. There are places in my life where fear tries to rise again, whispering that I am vulnerable or unprepared. Yet as I lean into you, I sense a different truth taking shape, a truth that speaks of safety, of covering, of being held in ways my mind cannot always grasp. Teach me to receive that truth fully. Help me understand that your protection is not fragile nor momentary, but steady and deeply rooted in love. Lord, let your presence be the shield that surrounds my thoughts. Let it quiet the anxious imagining that tries to create danger where none exists. Let it soften the tension that gathers in my mind when I anticipate challenges ahead. Help me move gently through this day, aware that I am watched over, not with distance, but with a closeness that recognizes every detail of what I face. There are unseen pressures that sometimes shape my steps, moments when I feel exposed to circumstances beyond my strength. Yet even there, you remain. You stand beside me in the quiet fears I do not speak. You cover me when I feel stretched thin. You guard the parts of me that feel most fragile. Let this awareness settle deeper, replacing dread with calm and uncertainty with steady peace. God, help me notice how your protection moves in ways I often overlook. In the conversation that diffuses tension before it grows. In the opportunity that appears just when I need a way through. In the sudden sense of calm that interrupts overwhelming thoughts. In the strength that rises without explanation when I feel unsteady. These moments are reminders that I am not navigating this life unprotected. Let your protection shape the way I carry myself. Let it loosen the instinct to brace for what might go wrong. Let it ease the habit of expecting harm where you are offering safety. Let it teach me to walk with a posture of quiet assurance rather than guarded fear. Help me breathe deeply into the truth that I am covered by a presence stronger than anything that comes against me. When shadows appear in my thoughts, remind me that your light has already filled the spaces fear tries to claim. When worry begins to tighten around my heart, remind me that nothing touches my life without passing through your hands. When I feel small in the face of uncertainty, remind me that your strength does not depend on my ability to feel brave. Father, draw me into a deeper trust in your protection. Let it extend beyond my emotions and into the choices I make, the conversations I enter, and the steps I take. Let it calm the silent fears that linger beneath the surface. Let it anchor my heart when unexpected challenges arise. Let it shape my responses so they reflect peace rather than panic. As I remain here, let the awareness of your protection become a quiet covering over every part of my day. Let it rest on my thoughts as I make decisions. Let it settle on my emotions when worry tries to gain ground. Let it strengthen my spirit when obstacles appear. Help me trust that you go before me, walk beside me, and remain behind me, guarding every place where I cannot see. Teach me to trust not only that you protect me, but that you protect those I care about. When concern for others tries to overwhelm me, remind me that your care extends beyond what I can reach. Let that truth bring comfort rather than worry. Let it ease the tension that rises when I feel responsible for more than I can carry. Help me rest in the truth that your protection is not limited by what I understand. It moves quietly, often without my awareness, shaping outcomes, redirecting steps, and shielding me from what I was never meant to carry. Let this humility deepen my trust, reminding me that I am held even when I cannot see how. Let it open my heart to gratitude for the unseen ways you watch over me. As I move from this moment into the flow of the day, let the calm that comes from knowing I am protected linger within me. Let it influence the words I speak, the posture I hold, and the choices I make. Let it steady me when pressures appear and guide me back to peace when fear attempts to rise. Let it become a quiet assurance woven through every breath, reminding me that I am never alone, never uncovered, never without the presence that keeps me safe. Father, as I continue from the quiet assurance of your protection that wrapped itself around my heart, I feel a new longing rising within me, a longing to receive the strength that flows from your presence. The awareness of being covered by you brings a gentle courage, and that courage now invites me to ask for deeper endurance, resilience, and inner fortitude for the path ahead. I step into this moment with an open spirit, ready to be strengthened in ways that do not depend on my own ability, but on the steady power that comes from walking with you. There are places within me where weakness still lingers, not as failure, but as a reminder of my humanity. There are moments when my heart grows tired, when my mind feels stretched thin, when my emotions dip and rise without warning. Yet even here, in these vulnerable spaces, I sense the quiet invitation to let your strength become my foundation. Teach me to receive that strength without resistance, without guilt, and without the pressure to prove that I am capable on my own. Lord, help me understand that true strength is not loud or forceful. It does not demand attention or insist on control. It grows quietly in the heart, in the unseen surrender, in the moments where I choose trust over fear. Let your strength rise within me like a steady current, lifting me where I feel worn, supporting me where I feel uncertain, and grounding me where I feel unstable. Let it settle into the deepest parts of who I am, reshaping the way I move through this day. There are responsibilities ahead of me that feel heavy at times, tasks that require more energy, more clarity, or more patience than I feel capable of offering. Meet me in those places. Father, let your strength accompany every effort, not replacing my humanity, but empowering it. Let it guide my hands, steady my voice, and focus my thoughts. Let it renew my motivation when fatigue settles in, and remind me that I am not carrying anything alone. God, teach me to lean into your strength rather than my own urgency. When I start to push myself too hard, remind me that rushing does not make me stronger. When I try to hold everything together by sheer will, remind me that endurance grows when I allow you to hold me instead. When discouragement whispers that I am not enough, let your presence speak louder, reminding me that your strength fills every gap I cannot bridge. Let your strength become the anchor beneath my emotions. When anxiety rises, let it steady me. When disappointment stings, let it comfort me. When sadness presses in unexpectedly, let it surround me with quiet reassurance. Let it soften the intensity of fear and bring warmth to places that have grown cold from long battles. Let it form a gentleness within me that does not collapse under pressure, but bends without breaking. Father, let this strengthening be more than physical or emotional. Let it reach into the spiritual corners of my life, where faith sometimes trembles and hope feels thin. Strengthen my ability to believe when circumstances are unclear. Strengthen my willingness to wait when timing stretches longer than I expect. Strengthen my resolve to remain kind when frustration tries to harden my heart. Strengthen my ability to love, especially when I feel drained or overwhelmed. Help me recognize the quiet signs of strength you place along my way, the renewed perspective that settles after a deep breath, the unexpected patience that appears in the middle of tension, the resilience that rises after a difficult moment. These are gifts, small reminders that your strength is active within me, even when I do not fully see it. Lord, let the strength you give shape my posture throughout the day. Let it guide the way I speak, helping my words carry grace rather than irritation. Let it influence the way I respond, keeping me steady when confronted with stress or misunderstanding. Let it shape the way I think, lifting me above discouragement and teaching me to see possibilities beyond the challenges before me. When the weight of the day feels heavier than expected, draw me back to this moment of receiving. When my energy dwindles, remind me that I can pause, breathe, and draw strength from you again when I feel overwhelmed by everything I must face. Remind me that your power does not diminish my weakness, but becomes more visible through it. As I remain here in this quiet pause, let your strengthening presence settle like a deep foundation beneath my feet. Let it move gently into every part of my being, renewing what has grown weary, supporting what has felt fragile, and enlivening what has grown dull. Let it prepare me not only to endure the day, but to walk through it with steadiness, courage, and a quiet confidence that comes only from you. Father, as I carry the strength you poured into me, I sense another stirring rising quietly within my spirit, a longing not only to stand firm, but to grow deeper in the places where maturity takes root. The strength I received does more than steady me. It opens space for growth, inviting me to expand beyond old limitations. I step into this moment with a desire to be shaped from within, to let your presence cultivate qualities that flourish over time and transform the way I move through this day. There are parts of me that have remained small, not out of unwillingness, but because fear once convinced me it was safer to stay unchanged. Yet now, with your strength warming those timid places, I feel the gentle invitation to grow. Teach me to lean into that invitation without hesitation, trusting that every step toward growth is guided by your kindness, not pressure. Help me release the old belief that growth must be forced, and instead let it unfold naturally from the quiet work you are doing in my heart. Lord, help me recognize the opportunities for growth that appear in subtle ways. The moment I choose patience when frustration rises, The moment I offer grace when disappointment tries to harden my voice. The moment I pause instead of reacting. These small shifts are seeds that root themselves slowly, forming new patterns of living that reflect your presence more than my impulses. Let me see these moments not as burdens, but as invitations to become more aligned with who you created me to be. As I continue in this quiet space, guide me into deeper self-awareness. Show me the areas where I need to soften and the places where I need to stand firm. Reveal the habits that no longer serve me. Gently uncover the reactions I have learned from past wounds, so I may respond from healing instead of fear. Let this awareness come without shame, shaped instead by the understanding that growth requires honesty and a willingness to see myself clearly. God, help me cultivate resilience that is rooted not in hardness, but in groundedness. Let my growth be marked by steady courage rather than rigid defense. Teach me to bend without breaking, to adjust without losing the core of who I am, and to rise again when life asks more of me than I expected. Let this resilience be shaped by trust, not self-protection, allowing me to meet challenges with openness instead of withdrawal. Let gratitude become a part of my growth. Let it deepen my perspective, reminding me of what is present rather than what is lacking. Let gratitude soften comparison, quiet frustration, and reshape the tone of my heart. Let it remind me that growth flourishes in soil enriched by thankfulness, even in seasons that feel uncertain or slow. Father, help me grow in compassion toward myself. I have often held myself to impossible standards, expecting perfection while overlooking progress. Teach me to embrace growth with gentleness, celebrating the steps I take rather than criticizing the distance left to travel. Let compassion become a steady companion, reminding me that transformation is a journey, not a demand. Help me also grow in compassion toward others. Let me recognize that every person I encounter is navigating their own unseen challenges. Let my words carry softness, my actions reflect understanding, and my responses be guided by empathy. Let this compassion become a quiet strength that deepens my connections and reflects the heart of your presence in me. Lord, let the growth you birth within me extend into my perspective, expand the way I see my circumstances. Help me recognize the lessons hidden within challenges. Help me discern the wisdom present in waiting. Help me see beyond temporary discomfort to the deeper work you are doing. Let my perspective shift from anxiety to expectation, from fear to openness, from resistance to trust. As I sit in this moment, let growth settle into me like a slow, steady unfolding. Let it shape my intentions, my reactions, my hopes, and my choices. Let it prepare me for the opportunities ahead and transform the way I carry the experiences of my past. Let it create space within me for new strength, new clarity, and new vision. As the day unfolds, let the evidence of growth reveal itself in unexpected ways. Let it appear in the kindness that rises more naturally, in the patience that lasts longer than it used to, in the clarity that surfaces when I pause to breathe. Let it appear in the calm that settles where anxiety once lived, and in the hope that lingers where doubt once tried to take root. These quiet changes remind me that growth is happening even when I am not fully aware of it. Father, let this expanding work reach into every hidden corner of my heart. Let it strengthen what is weak, illuminate what is unclear, and soften what has grown tight from old hurts. Let it prepare me to rise into this day with steadiness, humility, and a renewed openness to the journey ahead. Let it anchor me in the truth that I am being shaped gently, intentionally, and continually by your love. Lord, as I move gently from the unfolding growth you began within me, I sense a new invitation rising, one that calls me to deepen my capacity for peace. The growth that has started to take shape in my heart now opens the door for a quieter, steadier calm to settle inside me. I come with a desire to cultivate this peace, not as an escape from challenges, but as a grounding presence that steadies me no matter what the day brings. I want to walk in a calm that is born from knowing you, not from controlling my surroundings. There are moments when restlessness tries to take hold, moments when my thoughts move faster than my breath and my emotions shift without warning. Yet even in these places, your presence gently whispers that peace is possible. That calm is not something I must chase, but something I can receive. Teach me to open myself to that peace without fear that it will slip away. Let it fill the spaces where anxiety once settled and soften the tension that sometimes lives just beneath the surface. Father, help me understand that peace does not depend on everything around me being perfect. It does not require the absence of responsibility or uncertainty. It grows when I allow myself to trust in your nearness more than I trust in my fears. Let this peace rise quietly within me, helping my thoughts slow to a gentle rhythm, and my heart rest in the truth that I am held. As I sit in this stillness, guide me into the kind of peace that transforms the way I navigate my day. Let it influence how I respond to pressure, how I hold conversations, and how I carry the weight of what is expected of me. Let it anchor me when emotions rise suddenly. Let it calm me when I begin to anticipate challenges that have not yet arrived. Let it remind me that I am not responsible for holding everything together. Because you hold me, God, let this peace reach into the places where I feel stretched thin. Let it soothe the memories that try to return with heaviness. Let it ease the quiet ache that sometimes rises without explanation. Let it cover the parts of me that feel fragile and uncertain. Let it bring a warmth that reassures me I am safe, even when circumstances remain unresolved. Teach me to breathe in a way that welcomes peace. Slow my pace when I begin to rush. Steady my mind when it wanders into storms that have not formed. Help me recognize when my thoughts drift toward fear, so I can gently redirect them toward your presence. Let each breath become an invitation for peace to root itself deeper within me. Father, let your peace guide the tone of my words. Let it soften irritation before it forms. Let it quiet the defensiveness that rises when I feel misunderstood. Let it bring gentleness to moments that could easily become tense. Let it remind me that calm is not weakness, but strength shaped by trust. Help me bring this peace into the spaces where others are unsettled. Let my presence reflect stability when someone around me feels overwhelmed. Let my responses carry steadiness when frustration rises in the environment. Let me be a quiet reminder that calm is possible even in difficult moments. Let the peace you cultivate within me overflow in ways that comfort and support those I encounter today. Lord, let this peace influence the way I carry my responsibilities. Let it help me prioritize with clarity rather than panic. Let it steady my hands when tasks feel demanding. Let it guide my focus so I am not pulled into the urgency of what is unimportant. Teach me to work with calm intention rather than hurried exhaustion. When unexpected situations arise, remind me to pause rather than react. Remind me to breathe rather than tense. Remind me that peace can steady me even when circumstances shift without warning. Let this calm presence become a habit, something I return to instinctively because it has been cultivated in these early moments with you. Help me carry this peace into the hours ahead. Let it linger in my mind when stress begins to rise. Let it rest in my emotions when the day grows busy. Let it surround my heart when I encounter moments that feel heavier than expected. Let it become a quiet current beneath everything I do, reminding me that calm is not the absence of challenge, but the presence of trust. Father, let this deepening peace open new room for joy. Let it clear space within me for lightness, gratitude, and quiet delight in small moments. Let it soften any harshness that has settled in my spirit. Let it remind me that peace and joy often grow together, each strengthening the other in ways I sometimes overlook. As I step forward from this moment, let this calm become the atmosphere through which I walk, speak, and think. Let it be the quiet reminder that you are with me, shaping my inner world with a gentleness that steadies every part of who I am. Father, as I move from the deep calm you have been shaping within me, I feel a gentle invitation rising, an invitation to step into a deeper sense of joy. The peace settling in my spirit opens the door for a quiet, steady joy to take root, a joy not dependent on circumstance, but drawn from your nearness. I come with a heart ready to receive this joy, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a lasting posture shaped by trust and gratitude. I want to live with a joy that grows from within, even in moments that feel uncertain. There are places in my heart where joy has been dimmed by disappointment, where old worries have taken up space meant for gladness. Yet in this moment, I sense you clearing room within me, gently lifting the weight of past heaviness so that joy can rise again. Teach me to welcome this joy without hesitation. Remind me that joy is not naive or careless. It is the quiet strength that holds me steady even when circumstances shift. Help me embrace it fully. Lord, let this joy begin as a soft light within me, warming the places that felt tired or forgotten. Let it brighten thoughts that have lingered too long in worry. Let it lift emotions that have settled into patterns of heaviness. Let it bring a renewed sense of hope that does not deny difficulty, but looks beyond it, trusting that you are present in every moment. As this joy grows, help me recognize the small gifts woven through my day, the gentle beauty hidden in ordinary moments, the relief that comes from a deep breath, the kindness found in a quiet exchange, the stillness that follows a moment of surrender. Help me notice these gifts and receive them with gratitude, allowing each one to deepen the joy taking root within me. God, teach me to carry this joy into the spaces where I once felt anxious or overwhelmed. Let it soften the edges of worry, reminding me that I am not alone in the uncertainties I face. Let it bring balance to moments that feel heavy, helping me see more than the weight of what is expected of me. Let it rise gently when challenges appear, becoming a quiet reminder that hope is still alive within me. Let this joy influence the way I speak. Let it add warmth to my words, gentleness to my tone, and compassion to my responses. Let it shape the way I move through this day, helping me walk with a lighter heart and a spirit open to grace. Let it bring a sense of ease where I once carried tension, creating space for connection, kindness, and renewed clarity. Father, help me cultivate joy in ways that align with who you are. Let it be anchored in truth, not denial. Let it reflect trust, not pretense. Let it be steady, not fragile. Let it encourage resilience, reminding me that even in difficulty, there is still beauty, still hope, still meaning waiting to be found. Let joy become a part of my strength, rather than a fleeting moment I struggle to hold. Teach me to celebrate progress rather than focus only on what remains unfinished. Teach me to appreciate moments of rest without feeling guilty. Teach me to recognize the quiet victories that happen within me when I choose peace over panic, patience over frustration, or trust over fear. These small shifts are reminders that joy has room to grow when my heart remains open. Lord, help me reflect this joy to others. Let it become a gentle presence that encourages rather than overwhelms. Let it bring light into conversations, offering reassurance without dismissing anyone's struggle. Let it uplift those who feel discouraged, simply through the steadiness it brings to my posture and tone. Let my joy make space for others to breathe easier. As I continue in this quiet moment, let joy settle deeper, becoming a quiet rhythm beneath my thoughts. Let it calm the uncertainty that sometimes rises without warning. Let it bring steadiness to my emotions and clarity to my decisions. Let it remind me that joy is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of something greater. Your nearness, your care, your continual work within me. When the day grows heavy, remind me that joy is still accessible. When frustration builds, remind me that joy can soften its grip. When sadness appears unexpectedly, remind me that joy can sit beside it without conflict. Help me understand that these emotions can coexist, and that joy does not disappear simply because another feeling arrives. Instead, let it remain a quiet anchor beneath everything I experience. Father, Let this joy deepen my awareness of the good that still surrounds me. Help me appreciate the small mercies that meet me throughout the day, the unexpected moments of comfort, the subtle reminders that I am supported in ways I often overlook. Let this awareness expand my gratitude and strengthen my spirit. As I rise from this pause, let joy accompany me as a steady companion. Let it guide my steps with hope, shape my interactions with kindness, and anchor my heart in the assurance that you are with me in every breath, every moment, every unfolding part of this day. Father, as I rise from the quiet joy you have anchored within me, I sense a new longing forming beneath the surface, a longing to walk in gratitude with greater awareness and intention. The joy you planted has begun to lift my perspective, and now I feel the invitation to let gratitude deepen that shift, shaping the way I see the world, myself, and the day unfolding before me. I come with a heart open to this transformation, ready to let thankfulness become a steady rhythm that guides my thoughts and actions. There are moments when gratitude comes easily, when beauty appears in ways that are undeniable, when relief arrives unexpectedly, or when kindness touches me in a way that leaves a gentle imprint. Yet there are also moments when gratitude feels distant, moments weighed down by heaviness, by uncertainty, or by the quiet ache of unmet hopes. Teach me to carry gratitude through both kinds of moments, letting it become a grounding truth rather than a fleeting emotion. Lord, help me recognize that gratitude is not something I must force, but something I can cultivate with honesty. Let it begin as a quiet acknowledgement of what is good, even when the good feels small. Help me see the subtle blessings woven through my day, the breath that steadies me, the light that reaches through the window, the quiet strength that rises when I need it most. Let these reminders soften my heart and draw me into deeper appreciation. As I sit in this stillness, guide me into gratitude that reshapes my inner world. Let it shift my focus from what I fear to what is present. Let it widen my perspective so I can see possibility where I once saw limitation. Let it bring warmth to the parts of me that felt dim or disconnected. Let it help me notice the details of grace that often pass by unnoticed. God, let this gratitude influence the way I move through my responsibilities. Let it lighten the tasks that once felt heavy by helping me remember their purpose. Let it bring gentleness to my interactions, reminding me of the gift it is to share moments with others. Let it steady my emotions when stress tries to pull me away from calm. Help me approach everything before me with a heart aware of the good that remains present, even in challenge. Teach me to express gratitude in ways that bring life. Let it guide my words so that encouragement flows easily. Let it shape my responses so that kindness becomes natural. Let it lead me to acknowledge the efforts of others, offering appreciation instead of critique. Let gratitude soften the atmosphere around me, making space for connection, healing, and understanding. Father, help me recognize the connection between gratitude and trust. When I pause to give thanks, Let it remind me of the countless ways you have carried me through seasons I once feared. Let it remind me of prayers you have answered, strength you have given, doors you have opened, and burdens you have lifted. Let these memories deepen my confidence in the path ahead, anchoring my hope in your faithfulness. Let gratitude also reach into the harder places of my story, not to dismiss pain, but to reveal the hidden gifts that emerged even in difficulty, the resilience that grew where endurance was required, the compassion that deepened through struggle, the wisdom that formed in moments of waiting. Help me see that gratitude does not ask me to ignore sorrow, but invites me to recognize that even sorrow did not move without leaving traces of growth behind. Lord, teach me to embrace gratitude as a daily practice, a steady guide through shifting emotions. Let it become a companion I return to throughout the day, a pause in the middle of noise, a breath in the middle of pressure, a softening in the middle of frustration. Let it be the gentle reminder that goodness still surrounds me, no matter what I face. As I continue in this moment, let gratitude settle deeper into my thoughts. Let it loosen the grip of worry. Let it lighten the weight of comparison. Let it soften the fear that sometimes rises unexpectedly. Let it reshape the tone of my internal dialogue so that encouragement replaces criticism and hope replaces doubt. When challenges appear, remind me to look for traces of grace hidden within them. When discouragement tries to settle, remind me of the victories I have already lived through. When confusion clouds my thinking, remind me that clarity often grows from a thankful heart. Let gratitude be the quiet lantern that lights my path, even when the way forward is dim. As I step from this quiet time into the rhythm of the day, let gratitude move alongside me. Let it guide my thoughts, shape my responses, and steady my emotions. Let it fill the spaces where negativity once lingered. Let it become a calm assurance that reminds me of your presence in every detail of my life. Father, as I move from the deep well of gratitude you have cultivated within me, I feel a new stirring rising quietly in my heart, a gentle pull toward hope that is steady and anchored beyond what I can see. The gratitude that has softened my spirit now opens a path for hope to grow with greater strength, shaping the way I look toward what lies ahead. I come with a willing heart, ready to let hope settle into the deeper places of my soul, ready to trust that what you are forming within me is preparing me for what is yet to come. There are moments when hope feels natural, when light breaks through without effort and the future seems full of promise. But there are also moments when hope feels fragile, moments touched by disappointment or shaped by long seasons of waiting. Teach me to hold hope even in those quieter, more difficult spaces. Let it be a steady flame rather than a flicker that fades when challenges appear. Lord, help me understand that hope is not built on what I can predict, but on who you are. Let it rise from the assurance that you do not abandon the work you begin. Let it grow from the trust that your timing, though mysterious, is purposeful. Let it remind me that even when I cannot see movement, Something sacred is still unfolding beneath the surface of my story. As I rest in this moment, let hope begin to renew my perspective. Let it soften the places where worry once settled. Let it brighten the thoughts that drift toward discouragement. Let it steady the emotions that waver under pressure. Let it breathe life into the spaces where uncertainty has lingered too long. God, help me see hope in quiet, ordinary ways, in the clarity that comes after a moment of stillness, in the strength that rises when I did not expect it, in the kindness that appears unexpectedly, in the resilience that grows almost unnoticed. Let these small reminders shape my understanding that hope is not distant, but woven gently through my days. Teach me to speak with the tone of someone who carries hope. Let it color my words with encouragement rather than fear. Let it guide my responses so that I am able to offer steadiness to those who feel overwhelmed. Let it create an atmosphere where others can breathe more easily, knowing they are not alone in their uncertainties. Father, let hope take root in the deepest parts of me. Let it reach into the places affected by old disappointments, bringing restoration where weariness once lived. Let it renew the dreams I quietly set aside. Let it breathe courage into the visions I doubted were possible. Let it remind me that the story is still unfolding, and that your presence remains consistent through every chapter of it. Help me honor the slow work of hope. Teach me to trust the process even when progress feels invisible. Teach me to remain open to possibilities that have not yet taken shape. Teach me to recognize that hope grows in layers, often beginning as a whisper before becoming a stronger, clearer conviction. Lord, when discouragement tries to take hold, remind me of the ways you have carried me through seasons I once believed I would not survive. When fear tries to cloud my thoughts, remind me of the strength that rose in moments of vulnerability. When doubt tries to settle in my heart, remind me of the quiet assurances you placed along my path. As I continue sitting in this stillness, let hope settle deeper, becoming part of the rhythm of my thoughts. Let it anchor me when circumstances shift. Let it steady me when confusion rises. Let it strengthen me when obstacles appear unexpectedly. Let it be the quiet reminder that I am moving forward with purpose, even when the path is not fully visible. When the day grows challenging, help me return to hope rather than sink into worry. When conversations become heavy, teach me to offer words shaped by hope. When tasks feel overwhelming, remind me that hope can lighten the load by shifting how I perceive what is before me. God, let hope guide the decisions I make today. Let it influence the risks I take, the boundaries I set, and the steps I choose to pursue. Let it keep me aligned with the truth that possibility still exists, even in spaces that once felt closed. Let it encourage me to keep moving, trusting that you are leading me towards something meaningful and new. Father, let this hope deepen my trust in your timing. Help me release the pressure to control every outcome. Help me surrender the expectations that drain my strength. Help me rest in the truth that what you are preparing for me will arrive in the moment most aligned with your wisdom and my growth. As I rise from this moment, let hope walk with me into the hours ahead. Let it steady my breath, direct my focus, and keep my heart open to the hidden gifts waiting in this day. Father, as I rise from the quiet strength that hope has woven through my spirit, I feel another invitation forming gently within me, one that calls me to embrace courage with greater depth and intention. The hope you planted has begun to steady my inner world, and now I sense the need for courage to grow from that foundation, shaping how I face what lies ahead. I come with a heart willing to expand, ready to step into the kind of courage that is not loud or forceful, but rooted in trust and shaped by quiet resilience. There are times when courage seems natural, when clarity aligns with confidence, and the next step feels secure. Yet there are also moments when courage feels distant. Moments colored by hesitation, uncertainty, or the quiet fear of repeating old failures. Teach me to welcome courage in both seasons, letting it guide me gently without forcing me to pretend I am stronger than I feel. Let courage rise from honesty rather than pressure. Lord, help me understand that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move through fear with trust. Let it grow in the spaces where I feel unsteady. Let it reach into the corners of my heart where old doubts try to linger. Let it remind me that progress often begins with one small step taken with trembling hands but steady faith, trusting that you walk with me in every uncertain shift. As I rest in this moment, let courage begin to reshape my posture. Let it straighten what has felt weighed down by worry. Let it free my thoughts from the patterns that held me back. Let it loosen the grip of hesitation that sometimes forms around new opportunities. Let it breathe determination into my spirit, reminding me that strength often appears in the moments when I choose not to retreat. God, help me see courage in the simple choices I make today, in the willingness to speak truth gently, in the patience to remain present when conversations feel complex, in the resilience to continue trying even when results are not immediate, in the humility to ask for help when I feel stretched beyond my limits. Let these everyday expressions of courage shape my understanding of what it means to live with a brave, steady heart. Teach me to speak with the confidence of someone learning to trust deeply. Let courage soften my tone rather than harden it. Let it help me respond with clarity rather than defensiveness. Let it guide me into conversations that matter, even when vulnerability feels uncomfortable. Let courage shape my words in ways that build connection rather than create distance. Father, let courage take root in the places where I feel most insecure. Let it meet me in the tasks I avoid because they feel too large. Let it steady me when I fear disappointing others. Let it remind me that even imperfect steps are meaningful when taken with sincerity. Let courage lift the weight of unrealistic expectations, freeing me to move forward with grace and resilience. Help me honor the slow growth of courage. Teach me to recognize when I am learning to be bold in quiet ways. Teach me to celebrate the moments when I face something I once avoided. Teach me to trust that courage expands each time I choose honesty. Responsibility, or persistence over avoidance. Let this steady growth remind me that bravery is not born in an instant, but formed over time through small, faithful choices. Lord, when fear tries to settle in my thoughts, remind me of the times you strengthened me when I felt weakest. When doubt rises without warning, remind me of the moments I overcame what once felt impossible. When uncertainty clouds my decision-making, remind me that I do not walk into the future alone, but in step with your wisdom guiding me forward. As I continue in this stillness, let courage deepen its roots. Let it steady my emotions when circumstances shift suddenly. Let it anchor my thoughts when distractions pull me from clarity. Let it strengthen my spirit when fatigue tries to settle. Let courage become a quiet rhythm in my heart, reminding me that I am capable of moving forward with trust even when the path feels unfamiliar. When challenges arise, help me respond with steadiness rather than panic. When opportunities appear, give me the courage to say yes without shrinking back. When boundaries need to be set, let courage help me uphold them with kindness and firmness. Let it influence the way I carry myself so that I move through the day with a grounded, peaceful strength. Father, as I step forward from the quiet courage you have been nurturing within me, I feel a new stirring rising gently in my spirit, inviting me to seek deeper clarity in the places where my thoughts and emotions sometimes blur. The courage you planted has begun to steady my heart, and now I sense the need for clarity to illuminate my path, helping me see with greater wisdom, intention, and peace. I come with an open mind, ready for clarity to settle like calm light over the spaces that feel confusing or uncertain. There are moments when clarity comes naturally, when choices align easily and my next steps feel unmistakable. Yet there are also moments when clarity feels distant. Moments when too many concerns speak at once, or when old patterns cloud my perception. Teach me to welcome clarity even in these tangled moments, trusting that understanding can emerge slowly, gently, and at just the right time. Lord, help me recognize that clarity is not always a sudden revelation, but often a gradual unfolding. Let it begin with the quieting of the noise within me. Let it form through the steady grounding of my thoughts. Let it rise through the softening of my worries. Let clarity come as a gentle truth rather than a forceful demand, reminding me that wisdom grows in calm spaces. As I rest in this moment, let clarity touch the places where I feel conflicted. Let it ease the tension between what I desire and what I fear. Let it reveal the motives behind my choices so I can move with honesty. Let it guide me away from distractions that drain my strength and toward the things that truly matter. Let clarity bring peace where there was once confusion. God, help me understand the difference between clarity and certainty. Let clarity guide my heart even when outcomes remain unseen. Let it shape my steps even when I do not have every answer. Let it show me which direction aligns with truth. integrity, and growth, even if the road ahead remains partially veiled. Let clarity teach me to walk with intention without needing full visibility. Teach me to listen closely for clarity, in the quiet reassurance that settles after prayer, in the subtle peacefulness that accompanies a wise decision, in the uneasiness that signals when something is not right, in the calm that follows a moment of release. Help me honor these gentle signals as invitations toward wiser choices. Father, let clarity reach into the relationships I navigate. Let it help me speak with honesty and kindness. Let it guide me in knowing when to step forward and when to step back. Let it show me how to communicate with thoughtfulness rather than reaction. Let clarity strengthen the connections that are healthy and bring peace to the ones that feel strained. Help me carry clarity into my responsibilities. Let it prioritize what truly needs my energy. Let it reduce the pressure to do everything at once. Let it reveal the tasks that matter most so I can approach them with focus and grace. Let clarity free me from unnecessary worry and help me move through the day with steadiness. Lord, let clarity bring light to the places where old habits once held me back. Let it reveal the patterns I need to release. Let it expose the beliefs that no longer serve my growth. Let it guide me toward new ways of thinking that reflect truth rather than fear. Let clarity reshape my inner world with wisdom and gentleness. As I continue in this stillness, let clarity deepen its presence within me. Let it help me recognize when I am slipping into overthinking. Let it remind me to return to calm rather than rush toward conclusions. Let it center my mind when doubts begin to swirl. Let clarity become a steady companion that keeps me grounded in truth. When obstacles appear, help me discern what is mine to carry and what I must release. When decisions feel heavy, remind me that clarity does not require perfection, only honesty and trust. When emotions rise suddenly, let clarity help me pause long enough to respond rather than react. Let it create space within me for peace to settle before I move forward. God, let clarity guide the direction of my day. Let it influence what I pursue and what I let go. Let it shape my perspective so that I see opportunities rather than limitations. Let it help me align my actions with purpose rather than pressure. Let clarity give me the confidence to walk through uncertainty with a steady heart. Father, let this clarity deepen my trust in your guidance. Help me release the need to figure everything out on my own. Help me surrender the confusion I carry and rest in the assurance that understanding will come in its time. Help me trust that you are illuminating each step, even when I can only see the one directly before me. Let clarity remind me that even in moments of uncertainty, I am not navigating alone. Help me stay attentive to the gentle nudges you place along my path, the quiet confirmations that guide me toward wisdom, and the peace that settles when I choose what is aligned with truth. Let clarity continue to unfold throughout the day, meeting me again and again with insight, reassurance, and calm strength. Father, as I move gently from the clarity you have been cultivating within me, I feel another quiet invitation rising, one that calls me to deepen my discernment in the choices, desires, and crossroads that shape my day. The clarity you planted has begun to steady my thoughts, and now I sense the need for discernment to guide the way I interpret what I feel, what I hear, and what I notice. I come willing to listen more carefully, ready for discernment to become a calm, steady guide that helps me recognize what aligns with truth and what does not. There are moments when discernment feels natural, when wisdom surfaces easily and the right direction becomes obvious. Yet there are also moments when discernment feels clouded by emotion, shaped by pressure, or blurred by the expectations of others. Teach me to seek discernment in both kinds of moments, letting it grow gradually and authentically rather than forcing quick answers. Let discernment rise from stillness rather than urgency. Lord, help me understand that discernment is not merely choosing between right and wrong, but recognizing what brings growth, peace, and alignment with your guidance. Let it help me distinguish between what demands my attention and what distracts from my purpose. Let it clarify which opportunities nurture my spirit and which ones drain it. Let it reveal the difference between momentary impulses and meaningful direction. As I rest here, let discernment touch the subtle spaces within me. Let it help me notice the quiet motives beneath my intentions. Let it uncover the fears that try to influence my choices. Let it soften the weight of confusion that sometimes presses against my thoughts. Let discernment bring light to the places where mixed emotions make it hard to see clearly. God, help me discern the voices that shape my inner world. Let me recognize when a thought is rooted in fear rather than truth. Let me notice when pressure disguises itself as responsibility. Let me see when comparison clouds my perception. Let discernment help me identify which thoughts I should release and which ones I should nurture. Teach me to discern the pace of my day, when to move forward and when to pause, when to speak and when to listen, when to take action and when to wait for better timing, when to offer help and when to gently step back. Help me move in rhythm with wisdom rather than rushing out of anxiety or hesitating out of doubt. Father, let discernment guide my relationships. Let it show me how to respond with sincerity. Let it help me sense when someone needs compassion more than correction. Let it guide my boundaries so that I can love others well without losing myself. Let it help me interpret conversations with grace, recognizing what is said, what is meant, and what needs patience. Help me bring discernment into the responsibilities before me. Let it reveal which tasks deserve my immediate attention and which ones can wait. Let it protect me from the stress of taking on more than I can carry. Let it help me approach each commitment with intentionality, focusing on what holds purpose rather than simply reacting to pressure. Let discernment keep me steady when the day feels overwhelming. Lord, let discernment illuminate the patterns within me that need to change. Let it help me identify habits that no longer serve my growth. Let it reveal the beliefs that limit my courage, the routines that exhaust my spirit, and the choices that keep me from peace. Let discernment lead me toward renewal, guiding me with gentleness rather than self-criticism. As I continue in this moment, let discernment deepen. Let it quiet the noise that tries to compete for my attention. Let it steady the uncertainty that rises when circumstances shift suddenly. Let it help me interpret my emotions with wisdom, recognizing when they signal truth and when they echo old wounds. Let discernment support me in seeing the deeper layers beneath each decision I face. When challenges arise, help me discern which battles to engage and which ones to release. When conflict appears, help me discern the path that leads toward healing rather than pride. When opportunities come, help me discern whether they are invitations from you or distractions disguised as progress. Let discernment create space in me for peace to settle before I choose my next step. God, let discernment shape the direction of my day. Let it align my thoughts with intention. Let it influence my responses with patience. Let it help me navigate conversations with empathy. Let it guide my choices so that I walk with integrity and purpose. Let discernment become a quiet companion that helps me move through the day with calm awareness. Father, let this growing discernment deepen my trust in your guidance. Help me release the pressure to interpret everything perfectly. Help me surrender the confusion I cannot resolve alone. Help me rest in the truth that you illuminate understanding in your time and in your way. Let discernment reassure me that even when answers do not come immediately, wisdom is already forming beneath the surface. As I rise from this moment, let discernment walk with me into the unfolding hours ahead. Let it settle gently into my decisions, my interactions, and my thoughts, reminding me that I am guided, supported, and strengthened with every moment I choose to listen. Father, as I move gently from the deepened discernment you have been shaping within me, I feel another quiet shift forming in my spirit, a pull toward embracing patience with greater softness and trust. The discernment you planted has begun to sharpen my awareness, and now I sense the need for patience to steady my heart as I wait for what is still unfolding. I come with a desire to understand patience not as passive waiting, but as a steady, grounded posture shaped by peace, resilience, and confidence in what you are preparing. There are moments when patience feels natural, when my spirit rests easily in the rhythm of waiting, and peace settles without resistance. Yet there are also times when impatience rises quickly, when delays stir restlessness, or when uncertainty makes me want to rush ahead. Teach me to honor patience in both seasons, allowing it to form gently within me rather than forcing myself into silence or stillness I do not yet understand. Lord, help me recognize that patience is not the absence of movement, but the presence of trust. Let it grow in the spaces where I feel hurried. Let it meet me in the moments when I fear being left behind. Let it calm the places where anxiety whispers that time is slipping away. Let patience remind me that nothing meant for me is ever lost, and that what you prepare arrives in the exact moment it is needed. As I rest here, let patience reach into the tension that sometimes builds in my thoughts. Let it slow the urgency that pushes me toward decisions rooted in fear rather than wisdom. Let it soften the expectations I place on myself. Let it quiet the pressure to prove my worth through constant progress. Let patience bring ease to the parts of me that fear stillness. God, help me see patience as a strength rather than a struggle. Let it become the steady endurance that carries me through long seasons of growth. Let it reflect the maturity that comes from trusting what I cannot yet see. Let it remind me that even in waiting, transformation is happening beneath the surface in ways I may not recognize until much later. Teach me to practice patience with myself. Let me release the belief that growth must happen quickly. Let me honor the slow work of healing. Let me appreciate the gentle rise of understanding. Let patience help me see that do not need to have everything figured out to be moving forward with purpose. Let it remind me that growth often comes in quiet, almost hidden waves. Father, let patience shape the way I move through relationships. Let it help me listen more deeply. Let it help me respond with grace rather than irritation. Let it show me how to offer others the time they need to understand, heal, or find clarity. Let patience strengthen connections by allowing room for gentleness, honesty, and steady presence. Help me bring patience into my responsibilities. Let it keep me from rushing through tasks without intention. Let it show me how to pace myself in ways that honor my energy. Let it protect me from burnout by reminding me that I do not need to accomplish everything at once. Let patience guide me toward balance rather than exhaustion. Lord, let patience illuminate the places within me that still fear uncertainty. Let it reveal the urges that push me to hurry. Let it uncover the doubts that whisper that I am falling behind. Let patience invite me to stay present rather than projecting myself into future worries. Let it help me return to peace even when circumstances feel unclear. As I continue in this stillness, let patience deepen. Let it settle into my thoughts like calm water. Let it ease the urge to rush toward outcomes. Let it steady my emotions when they rise with urgency. Let patience become a quiet companion that reminds me that waiting is not wasted time, but sacred ground where trust is strengthened. When challenges arise, remind me to breathe rather than push forward too quickly. When delays appear, help me see them not as setbacks, but as spaces where wisdom is being formed. When progress feels slow, let patience reassure me that movement is still happening, even if I cannot yet see its shape. God, let patience guide the way I interpret what unfolds in this day. Let it help me choose understanding over frustration. Let it encourage me to give others the space they need. Let it keep me centered when the world around me feels rushed. Let patience help me recognize that each moment has its purpose, even when timing feels inconvenient. Father, let this growing patience deepen my trust in your pace. Help me release the belief that faster is always better. Help me surrender the fear that I am not moving quickly enough. Help me rest in the truth that you are never late, and that your timing carries wisdom far beyond what I can comprehend. As I rise from this moment, let patience walk with me into the unfolding hours, shaping the way I breathe, listen, respond, and move, reminding me that I am guided, held, and strengthened in every part of the journey. Father, as I move from the patience you have been nurturing within me, I sense another gentle invitation rising, one that draws me toward a deeper experience of resilience. The patience settling into my heart has begun to soften my fears about timing, and now I feel the quiet call to become steadier, to endure with grace, and to remain rooted even when life presents challenges I did not expect. I come with a willingness to grow stronger in spirit, not through force or rigidity, but through a steady inner strength shaped by trust, hope, and calm perseverance. There are moments when resilience comes naturally, when I feel grounded and capable of facing what stands before me. Yet there are also moments when resilience feels fragile, when pressure wears at my resolve, or when circumstances stir uncertainties that feel too heavy to hold. Teach me to grow resilience in both kinds of moments, letting it rise gradually through honesty, rest, and renewed trust. Lord, help me understand that resilience is not the refusal to feel pain or difficulty, but the courage to move forward even when the weight of life presses against me. Let resilience grow through the small choices I make, the steady breaths I take, and the determination to keep moving even when progress seems slow. Let it remind me that strength does not always look bold. Sometimes it looks like quiet perseverance. As I rest here, let resilience touch the deeper places within me. Let it lift the heaviness that sometimes settles in my thoughts. Let it steady my emotions when they shift unexpectedly. Let it help me rise again after moments of discouragement. Let resilience bring a sense of grounding to the parts of me that feel overwhelmed. God, help me see resilience in the way I continue showing up, in the willingness to keep trying even after disappointment, in the gentle choice to remain kind when others are tense, in the quiet strength that appears when I least expect it. Let these reminders show me that resilience is already forming within me, even when I do not recognize its growth. Teach me to rely on resilience when challenges stretch my patience. Let it keep me steady when responsibilities increase. Let it help me move through difficult conversations with grace. Let it give me strength to keep choosing what is right even when fatigue tries to push me toward shortcuts. Let resilience become a quiet companion that guides me through days both heavy and light. Father, let resilience shape the way I think. Let it shift my focus from what feels impossible to what is still possible. Let it redirect my thoughts away from discouragement and toward the hope that growth is unfolding beneath the surface. Let it help me remember that setbacks are not signs of failure, but moments that refine my endurance. Help me bring resilience into my relationships. Let it help me stay present through conflict without withdrawing. Let it strengthen my capacity to forgive. Let it help me offer stability to others without carrying what is not mine. Let resilience guide the way I remain soft-hearted even when circumstances tempt me to close myself off. Lord, let resilience illuminate the ways I have endured more than I once believed I could. Let it remind me of the strength that carried me through seasons of uncertainty. Let it reveal the ways you supported me when I felt weakest. Let it reassure me that the same strength is available now, guiding me through every new challenge. As I continue in this quiet space, let resilience deepen. Let it fortify my spirit without hardening my heart. Let it steady my steps when I feel unsure. Let it give me courage to move forward even when progress feels slow. Let resilience help me stand firm without losing tenderness. When difficulties arise, help me respond with steadiness rather than frustration. When discouragement appears, remind me of the progress I have already made. When fatigue settles, help me find rest without guilt and renewal without striving. Let resilience support me as I navigate moments that require patience, courage, and clarity. God, let resilience guide the way I interpret obstacles. Let it encourage me to see challenges not as signs that I am failing, but as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Let resilience help me recognize that endurance is not simply surviving hardship, but moving through it with a spirit that remains open to learning and transformation. Father, let this resilience deepen my trust in your sustaining presence. Help me release the belief that I must carry everything on my own. Help me surrender the fear that I will be overwhelmed. Help me rest in the truth that your strength rises within me, shaping my capacity to endure with grace and purpose. As I rise from this moment, let resilience walk with me into the unfolding hours, settling gently into my thoughts and guiding my steps with steady confidence. Father, as I rise from the resilience you have been strengthening within me, I feel another quiet pull forming, a gentle call to deepen my sense of surrender in the places where I still hold tightly to control. The resilience you planted has begun to steady my heart, showing me that I can endure more than I once believed. Yet now I sense you inviting me into a softer, deeper trust, one that releases the weight of self-reliance and opens the way for surrender rooted not in defeat, but in freedom. I come willing to loosen my grip on what was never mine to hold alone. There are moments when surrender comes easily, when I feel the relief of letting go and the comfort of releasing what was never meant to stay in my hands. Yet there are also moments when surrender feels difficult, when fear makes me tighten my hold, or when uncertainty convinces me that I must manage everything alone. Teach me to approach surrender with gentleness, allowing it to grow within me rather than forcing myself into release before I am ready. Let surrender form as a quiet unfolding rather than a pressured demand. Lord, help me understand that surrender is not giving up, but giving over. It is the willingness to place my fears, desires, timelines, and questions into hands far more capable than mine. Let surrender remind me that your understanding reaches further than my sight. Let it become the steady trust that carries me when plans shift, expectations unravel, or outcomes remain unclear. Let surrender deepen my belief that I am guided even in uncertainty. As I sit here, let surrender touch the parts of me that feel tense with responsibility. Let it soften the pressure I place on myself to always know what to do. Let it ease the need to predict every step ahead. Let it calm the worries that whisper that everything depends on me. Let surrender bring a deep breath into the corners of my mind where anxiety often settles. God, help me see surrender in the moments when I pause instead of rushing, in the willingness to let go of what drains me, in the quiet choice to release fears that circle endlessly, in the decision to trust that I do not need to fight every battle. Let surrender reveal the quiet wisdom of stepping back when my heart feels overwhelmed. Let it show me that rest is not irresponsibility, but renewal. Teach me to surrender my need for perfection. Let me release the belief that my worth is tied to flawless performance. Help me accept that mistakes do not cancel growth, and imperfections do not disqualify me from grace. Let surrender teach me to rest in progress rather than chase a standard I was never meant to carry. Let surrender ease the self-judgment that rises too quickly. Father, let surrender shape the way I navigate relationships. Let it help me release the urge to control outcomes. Let it show me how to love without gripping tightly. Let it guide me to trust that healing, understanding, and timing unfold at their own pace. Let surrender free me from trying to fix what is not mine to fix, and invite me to show up with peace instead of pressure. Help me surrender the burdens I carry quietly, the private worries I do not speak aloud, the silent expectations I place on myself, the hidden fears about the future. Let surrender uncover them gently, not to expose or shame me, but to free me from their weight. Let it remind me that I am not meant to walk with heaviness pressed against my spirit. Lord, let surrender illuminate the illusions of control I hold on to. Let it show me that I cannot force clarity, rush healing, or manufacture outcomes. Let it teach me that some answers form slowly, some doors open unexpectedly, and some transformations happen only when I release my insistence on timing. Let surrender guide me into deeper alignment with your rhythm. As I continue in this stillness, let surrender deepen its roots. Let it become the resting posture of my heart. Let it invite me into patience when I want to hurry. Let it bring calm when I feel overwhelmed. Let it soothe the fear that letting go means losing control. Let surrender help me trust that release is not abandonment, but partnership with something greater than my own strength. When challenges appear, help me surrender the impulse to solve everything immediately. When disappointment rises, help me surrender the urge to close myself off. When uncertainty stretches beyond my comfort, help me surrender the need to know every answer. Let surrender become the doorway through which peace enters when I need it most. God, let surrender guide my actions today. Let it influence my choices, not with passivity but with intention. Let it help me step away from what harms my spirit and lean toward what nurtures it. Let it clear space within me for wisdom to grow. Let surrender shape my inner world, so that I move from trust rather than tension. Father, let this deepening surrender expand my awareness of your presence. Help me release the belief that I must manage everything on my own. Help me surrender the burdens I grip too tightly. Help me rest in the truth that I am guided, supported, and upheld in ways beyond my understanding. Let surrender remind me that I am safe in your care. As I rise from this moment, let surrender accompany me through the unfolding hours, settling gently into my thoughts, softening my expectations, and steadying my spirit with quiet assurance. Lord, as surrender continues to take root within me, I feel another stirring rising quietly, a deeper longing to walk in peace that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from the stillness you cultivate within my spirit. The surrender I offered has softened the weight I once carried, and now I sense an opening, a pathway toward a calm that settles not only in my thoughts, but in the atmosphere of my entire being. I come seeking that peace, not as an escape from reality, but as the grounding strength that steadies me when life becomes unpredictable. There are moments when peace arrives unexpectedly, slipping gently into my awareness and reminding me that I am held even when the world around me feels tense or uncertain. Yet there are also moments when peace feels distant, when worries rise too quickly, or when my mind begins to race ahead of the present moment. Teach me to recognize peace not only as a fleeting feeling, but as a posture of trust, a quiet confidence that grows in the spaces where I slow down enough to hear you. Father, help me understand that peace is not the absence of pressure, but the presence of assurance. It is the inner knowing that I am guided, supported, and never left alone. Let peace settle into the places where fear has lingered. Let it calm the thoughts that spiral into what-ifs. Let it loosen the grip of anxieties that tighten around my chest. Let peace fill the empty spaces where exhaustion has taken root. As I rest here, let peace breathe through my spirit. Let it wash through my mind with clarity. Let it soften my body where tension gathers. Let it move into the quiet spaces of my heart where unspoken fears hide. Let peace remind me that I am safe even in uncertainty, seen even in silence, and carried even when I feel weak. God, help me see peace in the simple rhythms of my day, in the quiet inhale before I speak, in the brief pause before I respond, in the small moments of stillness that surround me even in busy places. Let peace reveal itself as a gentle guide, calling me back to center whenever my thoughts wander too far or my emotions grow too loud. Teach me to pursue peace, not through avoidance, but through presence. Let me face challenges without letting agitation take control. Let me walk through conflict with a softened heart rather than a defensive stance. Let me approach responsibilities with steadiness rather than urgency. Let peace shape the way I move through the world, transforming the spaces I enter. Lord, let peace influence the environment I create for myself and others. Let it guide the tone of my words. Let it settle in my expressions. Let it soften my interactions. Let it inspire gentleness in spaces where frustration might otherwise rise. Let peace become the atmosphere I carry with me, offering calm to those I encounter. Help me extend peace toward my own thoughts. When self-doubt appears, let peace speak louder. When insecurity stirs, let peace anchor me. When old memories or regrets try to resurface, let peace remind me that I am no longer defined by what lies behind me. Let peace allow me to approach myself with kindness rather than criticism. Father, let peace fill the places where my heart feels divided. Let it restore unity to the parts of me that struggle to move together. Let it reconcile the tension between what I feel and what I know is true. Let peace bring balance when I feel pulled in too many directions at once. Let it remind me that inner harmony is possible even in seasons of complexity. When emotions shift rapidly, help me return to peace. When uncertainty clouds my judgment, let peace clear the view. When impatience tries to take hold, let peace slow my pace. When fear of the future rises, let peace draw me back to this moment where I am safe, grounded, and not alone. Let peace build a steady foundation beneath every step I take. Lord, let peace deepen my resilience by softening my responses. Let it keep me from reacting impulsively. Let it guide me to listen more fully, feel more gently, and speak more thoughtfully. Let peace sharpen my clarity and broaden my compassion. Let it reveal the strength found not in force, but in calm intention. Father, help me recognize peace as a gift I am invited to receive rather than something I must strive to earn. Let me embrace it with openness. Let me welcome it even when my circumstances have not changed. Let me choose it as a way of living rather than a momentary experience. Let peace shape the way I interpret what unfolds around me. As I sit in this quiet space, let peace expand beyond the limits of my understanding. Let it settle into the rhythm of my breathing. Let it soften the edges of my worry. Let it reach into the places that feel unsettled. Let it remind me that peace is not fragile but enduring, not dependent on perfect conditions, but anchored in unwavering presence. God, let peace walk with me throughout this day. Let it color my perspective. Let it steady my decisions. Let it soften my reactions. Let it soothe the anxieties that try to rise as the hours unfold. Let peace remind me that I am guided in every step, upheld in every challenge, and surrounded by grace in every moment. As I rise from this moment, let peace move with me into the day ahead, quieting the noise within and around me, and reminding me continually that I am held in a calm stronger than anything I face. Father, as peace settles more deeply into my spirit, I feel another quiet movement rising within me, a gentle invitation to cultivate joy that does not rely on perfect circumstances, but springs from the steady awareness of your presence. The peace you have given has begun to quiet the noise inside me, and now I sense room opening for joy to take root in places that once felt heavy or dim. I come longing for that joy, not as a fleeting burst of emotion, but as a deep, sustaining strength that lifts the heart in ways I cannot create on my own. There are times when joy appears unexpectedly, arriving like a warm light that softens everything it touches. Yet there are also moments when joy feels distant, when responsibilities weigh heavily, or when discouragement settles over my thoughts. Teach me to welcome joy in the quiet, ordinary moments of my day, not waiting for everything to feel right before allowing joy to grow. Let joy form gently, like a slow sunrise, warming my spirit little by little. Lord, help me understand that joy is not denial of reality, but a deeper recognition that goodness flows even in imperfect seasons. Let joy rise from gratitude, from noticing small gifts I once overlooked, from appreciating moments of connection, from recognizing the strength that has carried me through difficult days. Let joy become the quiet assurance that I am being renewed from within. As I sit in this stillness, let joy touch the corners of my heart that have felt tired. Let it brighten the thoughts that have grown heavy. Let it soften the lingering shadows of disappointment. Let joy bring warmth to the places where hope has felt thin. Let it remind me that even in seasons of waiting, there remains a larger story unfolding around me. God, help me notice joy in the gentle rhythms of life, in the warmth of sunlight streaming through a window, in the comfort of familiar voices, in the steady beat of my own breathing, in the small victories that might otherwise pass without celebration. Let joy draw my attention toward these glimpses of goodness, anchoring me in the present moment rather than pulling me into worry about what comes next. Teach me to carry joy into my relationships. Let it soften my tone, brighten my presence, and shape the way I listen. Let it help me create space for laughter, for kindness, for understanding. Let joy help me look at others with compassion rather than impatience. Let it remind me that connection grows strongest when the heart is light enough to open fully. Father, let joy guide the way I move through challenges. When circumstances feel heavy, let joy offer me perspective. When setbacks occur, let joy remind me that this moment is not the end of my story. When frustration rises, let joy steady my emotions, helping me respond rather than react. Let joy help me remember that there is still beauty to be found even here, even now. Help me cultivate joy through gratitude. Show me how to recognize the blessings woven quietly into my day. Help me notice the progress I have made, the strength I have gained, the clarity I have received. Let gratitude become the soil where joy grows, reminding me of the countless ways I am supported even when life feels uncertain. Lord, let joy restore parts of me that have felt worn or discouraged. Let it rekindle enthusiasm where exhaustion has dulled my spirit. Let it lift my thoughts when negativity tries to take hold. Let it remind me that renewal is possible, that light can return to places that once felt dark. Let joy help me believe again in what is possible. As I continue in this stillness, let joy deepen. Let it move beyond emotion into conviction. Let it become the steady confidence that I am walking toward goodness, even when I cannot see the full path. Let joy guide me toward hope, reminding me that each day holds new opportunities for grace, growth, and meaning. When worry whispers loudly, let joy speak louder. When doubt tries to cloud my perspective, let joy clear the view. When heaviness settles unexpectedly, let joy lift the weight a little at a time. Let joy anchor me in truth when my thoughts drift toward fear. Let it remind me that I am never without reason to hope. God, let joy shape the way I see myself. Let it help me release harsh judgments and replace them with compassion. Let it remind me that I am growing, learning, and becoming. Let joy encourage me to celebrate small steps, rather than focus only on distance still ahead. Let it help me embrace each part of my journey with gentleness. Father, let joy color the way I interpret the world around me. Let it soften the edges of difficulty. Let it brighten the quiet spaces of my day. Let it help me approach challenges with courage and opportunities with openness. Let joy become the quiet radiance that shines through my words, my choices, and my presence. As I rise from this moment, let joy walk with me into the unfolding day. Let it warm my thoughts, soften my expressions, and strengthen my heart, reminding me continually that goodness is present, hope is alive, and light is rising within me. Father, as joy begins to take its place within my spirit, I feel yet another gentle stirring rising from the quiet spaces of my heart, an invitation to embrace courage in a deeper and more grounded way. The joy you have nurtured has lifted my spirit, softened the heaviness that once settled on my thoughts, and opened room for a brave, steady strength to form within me. I come seeking that courage now, not the loud or forceful kind, but the kind that grows quietly, allowing me to stand firm, speak truthfully, and move forward with a calm assurance that I am guided every step of the way. There are moments when courage feels natural, when clarity strengthens my steps and hope fills my vision. Yet there are also moments when courage feels distant, when fears whisper too loudly, or when uncertainty makes every decision feel heavier than it should. Teach me to cultivate courage, not only when I feel strong, but especially when I feel unsure, reminding me that courage grows in the very places where I once felt overwhelmed. Father, help me understand that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move through fear with trust. Let courage rise within the parts of me that have been hesitant, unsure, or wary. Let it steady the thoughts that wobble under pressure. Let it lift the heart that has grown tired. Let courage remind me that I am capable of walking forward, even when the path is not fully visible. As I sit in this quiet moment, let courage reach the places where self-doubt has settled. Let it speak gently to the insecurities that echo too loudly. Let it strengthen the areas where I have felt unprepared or inadequate. Let courage assure me that I do not walk alone, that guidance is forming even when understanding is still in progress. God, help me see courage in the small choices I make throughout my day, in the decision to be kind even when I feel stretched, in the willingness to try again after disappointment, in the quiet determination to face responsibilities without turning away. Let courage reveal itself not only in large moments, but in the steady persistence that carries me through daily life. Teach me to carry courage into my relationships. Let it help me speak with honesty, listen with openness, and show up with authenticity. Let it guide me to offer compassion even when it feels vulnerable. Let it help me set boundaries with grace, not resistance. Let courage teach me that connection grows stronger when I allow myself to be fully present. Father, let courage shape the way I encounter challenges when obstacles arise. Let courage help me remain steady rather than overwhelmed. When confusion clouds my clarity, let courage encourage me to ask for wisdom rather than retreat into fear. When unexpected difficulties appear, let courage remind me that strength grows through perseverance. Help me cultivate courage through hope. Let hope remind me that setbacks are not final. Let it show me that growth is still unfolding. Let it encourage me to keep moving even when progress seems slow. Let hope partner with courage, lifting my spirit and helping me see beyond the moment I am in. Lord, let courage restore parts of me that have felt timid or hesitant. Let it help me break free from patterns that have limited my growth. Let it give me confidence to pursue what aligns with truth. Let it remind me that I can move forward even while learning, that courage does not require perfection, but willingness. As I continue in this stillness, let courage deepen. Let it become the steady strength that guides my decisions. Let it shape the way I speak, the way I act, and the way I approach each new opportunity. Let courage encourage me to step out when I feel called, to stay planted when I need to be still, and to discern wisely between the two. When fear rises sharply, let courage rise gently beside it. When uncertainty clouds my path, let courage help me take the next step. When my heart feels unsteady, let courage offer reassurance. When I feel tempted to shrink back, let courage remind me that I am growing. That boldness often begins as a quiet whisper before it becomes a strong voice. God, let courage shape the way I see myself. Let it help me release old narratives that no longer serve me. Let it encourage me to see the progress I have made rather than fixate on what remains unfinished. Let courage help me embrace the truth that I am capable of far more than I once believed. Father, let courage guide the way I interpret the world around me. Let it help me see possibilities where I once saw limitations. Let it allow me to stand firm in what matters while remaining gentle in spirit. Let it give me the strength to choose love over defensiveness, wisdom over impulse, and truth over fear. As I rise from this moment, let courage walk with me into the hours ahead, steadying my heart, strengthening my thoughts, and reminding me quietly that I am never without the strength I need for the path before me. Father, as courage settles into my spirit and begins to steady the way I move through each moment, I feel yet another quiet invitation rising within me, a call to cultivate endurance that carries me through seasons both light and heavy. Courage has helped me step forward with intention, yet endurance is what will help me remain faithful When the days stretch long and the journey feels demanding, I come seeking that endurance now, not as a forced persistence, but as a quiet, resilient strength that grows from trust, hope, and a steady awareness of your presence. There are moments when endurance feels natural, when motivation runs high and clarity remains strong. Yet there are also moments when endurance feels fragile, when fatigue grows louder than hope, or when uncertainty slows my steps. Teach me to nurture endurance even in these places, letting it form gently like roots strengthening beneath the surface, holding firm even when the winds of life begin to shift. Lord, help me understand that endurance is not simply pushing through difficulty, but continuing with purpose even when the outcome is not yet visible. Let endurance shape the way I stay committed, the way I show up fully, and the way I remain steady when challenges appear. Let it soften discouragement before it settles deeply. Let endurance remind me that growth takes time and that strength often forms slowly. As I rest in this moment, let endurance reach the places where awareness has begun to gather. Let it renew what has felt depleted. Let it lift the heaviness that sometimes settles in my chest. Let it strengthen the soft places within me that have been stretched too far. Let endurance remind me that even when I feel tired, I am not without support. God, help me see endurance in the small ways I keep moving, in the quiet choice to try again, in the gentle decision to remain patient, in the slow progress that does not always feel like progress. Let endurance show me that even small steps matter, that consistency builds strength, and that showing up each day shapes the person I am becoming. Teach me to carry endurance into my relationships. Let it help me stay committed to understanding, rather than retreat into frustration. Let it steady my heart when conversations feel difficult. Let it help me forgive with openness, rather than bitterness. Let endurance remind me that connection takes time, patience, and a willingness to continue showing up even when challenges arise. Father, let endurance guide my thoughts. When worry appears, let endurance help me return to what is true. When doubt whispers, let endurance redirect my focus toward what is steady. When impatience rises, let endurance slow my pace so I can discern clearly. Let endurance shift my inner posture from urgency to grounded trust. Help me cultivate endurance through hope. Let hope keep me from giving up when progress feels slow. Let it remind me that even in seasons of waiting, something meaningful is forming. Let it help me see beyond the immediate moment. Let endurance and hope work together within me, strengthening my capacity to persevere. Lord, let endurance restore parts of me that have grown tired from carrying too much for too long. Let it loosen the grip of discouragement. Let it lift the weight of pressure. Let it guide me to find rest without guilt and to rise again with renewed purpose. Let endurance remind me that fatigue is not failure and that renewal is always possible. As I continue in this quiet space, let endurance deepen. Let it become a steady rhythm within me, a quiet confidence that keeps me moving forward, even when the path stretches farther than expected. Let endurance shape the way I approach each day, reminding me that persistence is formed through small, faithful steps. When challenges grow sharper, let endurance soften my fear. When obstacles slow me down, let endurance encourage me to keep moving. When disappointment appears, let endurance help me rise without a hardened heart. Let endurance guide me gently through seasons of uncertainty, reminding me that I am still growing. God, let endurance shape the way I see myself. Let it help me recognize the resilience I have already shown. Let it replace harsh self-judgment with compassion. Let it help me trust that I am capable of finishing what I begin, even when the journey takes longer than I hoped. Let endurance become a quiet confidence rooted in truth. Father, let endurance guide the way I interpret my circumstances. Let it help me see long-term growth rather than short-term discomfort. Let it strengthen my belief that challenges can refine me. Let it invite me to remain faithful in the present rather than rush ahead. Let endurance steady my heart so that I can walk each step with intention. As I rise from this moment, let endurance walk with me into the hours ahead, strengthening my resolve, steadying my emotions, and reminding me gently that I have the capacity to continue, to grow, and to remain faithful on the path unfolding before me. Father, as I arrive at this final stretch of our long morning journey, I feel the threads of every moment we have shared woven gently within me. From the first whisper of longing to the slow growth of peace, from the deep breaths of surrender to the quiet rise of courage and endurance, I sense how each step has shaped a softer, steadier place inside my spirit. I come now not to close what we have built, but to rest in the fullness of it, allowing your presence to breathe through the final spaces of this time with the same quiet strength that has carried me from the beginning. There are places within me that feel more open now, places where hope has begun to grow again, where trust feels less strained, where my heart feels more willing to believe that renewal is possible. Teach me to carry this openness forward, not as something fragile, but as something living that continues to deepen as I walk through the coming days. Let this final moment become a gentle reminder that every beginning grows from a simple willingness to return. Lord, help me hold on to the truth that your presence has been the quiet thread guiding every word of this long prayer. Through moments of heaviness, through quiet reflection, through glimpses of strength, you have remained steady. Let this awareness settle into me with warmth, reminding me that I am never far from the calm I have found here. Let it guide me when uncertainty rises, when fear returns, or when my steps feel unsure. As I reflect on this journey, let gratitude move softly through me. Gratitude for the resilience that has grown. Gratitude for the peace that has taken root. Gratitude for the courage that has begun to expand within the spaces I once doubted. Let gratitude steady me, reminding me that growth continues even when I do not see it happening. Father, let this final moment deepen my desire to seek you with honesty, not only in times of need, but in the ordinary rhythms of each day. Let me return to this stillness often, allowing it to shape the way I think, the way I speak, and the way I move through the world. Let the calm cultivated here become a quiet anchor that supports me through the shifting seasons ahead. Teach me to carry compassion outward. Let the gentleness formed here influence the way I treat others. Let the patience practiced here steady me in moments of tension. Let the clarity found here guide my conversations. Let the kindness nurtured here brighten the lives I interact with. Let this prayer ripple outward into the spaces I enter. God, help me remember that this journey does not end here. The pages of this prayer may pause, but the path of faith continues. Help me walk into tomorrow with a softened spirit, with grounded trust, with growing hope. Let me choose to return to these truths again and again, allowing them to shape me with each new sunrise. As I breathe into this moment, let me rest in your nearness. Let me feel the quiet reassurance that I am guided, supported, and held. Let this awareness linger long after these words fade. Let it become a steady light within me, reminding me to seek peace in the midst of noise, to seek stillness in the midst of pressure, and to seek you in the midst of everything. Father, thank you for walking with me through every chapter of this long prayer. Thank you for speaking into the quiet places, for strengthening the weary places, for lifting the discouraged places. Thank you for drawing me gently toward renewal. Let this gratitude continue to unfold within me like a soft, steady glow. To everyone who has journeyed with me to this final moment, thank you for walking this path with an open heart. Your presence here has given these words a place to land, a place to grow, a place to become more than a quiet whisper. I am grateful for your courage, your openness, and your desire to seek light in the early hours of the day. I invite you now to share your reflections, your prayers, or the quiet movements you felt within your spirit along the way. Your voice may become the light someone else needs, the encouragement someone has been quietly seeking. This space is made richer when we lift one another up. If this journey has spoken to you, I invite you to subscribe, to share this prayer with someone who may need it, and to return each morning to continue nurturing your spirit. May these quiet moments strengthen your faith, steady your heart, and draw you toward deeper peace. As I step from this final line, let this moment end not with a closing, but with the gentle unfolding of new beginnings. Like the first light of dawn stretching softly across the sky, inviting me forward with quiet promise.